For these readings and anything in this book, anytime we're talking about a business or a workplace, we could also interchange that with school and classroom. So keep that in mind, that all these things that we're talking about, we can practice now in a classroom setting and at the school. We're going to talk about ethics now. So professionals are expected to make good decisions for the business and to act ethically while on the job. Ethics are the moral principles or beliefs that direct a person's behavior. Morals are an individual's ideas of what is right and wrong. A person's sense of ethics and morals illustrates his or her integrity. Integrity is the honesty of a person's actions. Ethics help people make good decisions in both their personal and professional lives. Ethical actions are those that apply ethics and moral behavior. Unethical actions are those that involve immoral behavior or crime. Criminal actions can be punishable by law.
Worth ethic is the principle that honest work is its own reward. A person who has a strong work ethic, ethic, turn?
Use your finger.
Ethic believes that hard work is valuable to his or her character. Examples of behavior that demonstrates a good work ethic include arriving on time and performing duties at the highest level of ability and expectation. Workplace ethics are principles that help define appropriate behavior in a business setting. Workplace ethics start with attendance. Ethical behavior includes arriving on time or even early to work each workday and putting in a full day effort. If your day starts at 8 a.m., that is the time that you should be at your station working. Pulling into the parking lot at 7:59 a.m. does not constitute being to work on time. Likewise, simply being in the building at 8 a.m. does not mean you're on time. You should be working at 8 a.m. If your day ends at 4 p.m., you are expected to be working until that time. Breaks and lunch are not to be abused. Respect your employer's time and conduct personal business when you are off the clock. If you need a personal day off for shopping or other reasons, make the ethical decision. Ask for a vacation day or personal day rather than pretending to be ill and request a sick day. These are behaviors that help an individual keep a job and potentially earn promotions. They are also examples of behaviors that reflect a person's work ethic.
Very good. You're a good reader. You did a great job.
Many businesses have a code of ethics that employees are expected to follow. A code of ethics is a document that dictates how businesses should be conducted. The goal of code's ethics is to establish a value system for the company that will enable employees to make a sound ethical decisions. For example, some businesses do not allow their employees to accept gifts from clients. Some companies also establish a code of conduct. A code of conduct identifies the manner in which employees should behave while at work or when representing the company. The code of conduct provides guidelines of acceptable behavior in the workplace. In many instances, it functions as a set of rules to be followed with clear expectations of right and wrong actions. It can be used by businesses to monitor employee behavior and discourage unacceptable behavior in the workplace. Rules that may be a part of code of conduct including the following: consuming, selling, possessing, or being under the influence of alcohol or drugs during work hours or while on company property. It is strictly prohibited. Possessions of firearms or other weapons on company property during company events or while conducting company businesses is strictly prohibited. Internet access provided by the company should be used only for business purposes, not for checking personal email or shopping online.
Very good. Thank you. You're a good reader. All right. Go.
Workplace bullying is a serious example of conduct that is unacceptable in the workplace. Workplace bullying is an intentional repeated mistreatment of a person by another person by using verbal abuse, threats, or any other action that prevents a person from doing his or her job without fear. Such a behavior can escalate to a point that endangers an individual well-being and can install fear of bodily harm. Even if not formally established by their company, professionals maintain a personal code of ethical conduct. Therefore,
Even if not formally established by their company, professionals maintain a personal code of ethical conduct. They refrain from saying negative things about their jobs, employers, and coworkers when they give their word to complete a task. They honor it. You can build your professional image by showing accountability for your actions and doing what you can say you will do.
It is every employee's responsibility to maintain ethical behavior in all communication that represents his or her employer. Ethical communication is the practice of applying ethics to messages in order to ensure all communication is honest in every way. Many companies have a communication plan in place that identifies how to ethically communicate information about the business to the public. A communication plan provides an outline of the appropriate channels of communication for the company. It also includes an analysis of how communication for the company should occur. When creating messages that represent your organization, ask the following questions to analyze if the information is ethical. Has confidentiality been honored? Confidentiality been honored? Has the privacy of the company been protected? Is the information presented factual and honest? Has appropriate credit been given to contributors of the communication? Has copyright material been used appropriately?
Good. Thank you, Kimberly. Right.
Careful consideration must be given to the impact of company communication on the public. The point of view presented should be honest. It may be tempting for those who writing messages or representing the business to get caught up in exaggerations or inaccurate claims about the company. However, doing so is unethical and may be illegal. Marketing messages that persuade the reader to buy or respond in some ways must be written accordingly to appropriate businesses and communications laws. These laws must be enforced by the Federal Trade Communication and
FTC.
FTC and dictate that truth in advising must be followed. False advertising is outstating the features and benefits of products or services or making false claims about them. Mispresenting information intentionally or unintentionally can lead to lawsuits, loss of customers, and loss of jobs. It is important to choose words carefully when making comments about others, whether in person or online. Slander is speaking a false statement about someone that causes others to have bad opinion of him or her. Libel is publishing a false statement about someone that causes others to have bad or untrue opinion about him or her. Slander and libel are considered crimes of defamation.
Okay, good. Thank you, Robert. Okay, good job. Yes, appropriate. Okay, you're going. Confidentiality.
Means that specific.
No, as you say, confidentiality. So I can edit that. Okay, start there.
Means that specific information is never shared except with those who have clearance to receive it. This includes information about customers and other employees. Just because a person works with you does not mean that person is entitled to confidential company information. Proprietary information is anything that is owned by a business. It usually refers to information, products, or processes created by a company's employees. On company time, proprietary information can include many things such as products, formulas, or customer lists, manufacturing processes, or other trade secrets. A trade secret is information a company needs to keep private and protect from competitors. Before providing information to someone, confirm that it will not violate confidentiality These questions can help determine if the information can be shared. Has confidentiality been honored? Has privacy of the company been protected? Is this a person who has been given authority to receive this information? Professionalism should be the number one priority when res- respecting an employees who share proprietary information with outsiders or other employees. Employees are behaving unethically and possibly breaking the law.
Good. All right. One, we're just going to read the social responsibility and stop there for today. Go.
Social responsibility is behaving with sensitivity to social, environmental, and economic issues. As a professional, social responsibility may be considered an ethical issue. Negative communication about or actions toward society or the environment reflects negatively on the company. Messages and actions should be analyzed to confirm they are not offensive. Consider the following questions when evaluating the social responsibility of actions or communications. Have any negative comments been stated or implied about social issues, such as the environment? Have any personal opinions about social responsibility been included?
Perfect. All right, good job, you guys. Those that read, thank you very much.
It is important to understand the difference between ethical and unethical activities related to technology and online conduct, especially in the workplace. Digital citizenship is a standard of appropriate behavior when using technology. Good digital citizenship focuses on using technology in a positive manner, rather than using it for negative or illegal purposes. Our daily lives revolve around using technology in many shapes and forms. However, people who participate in the digital society have a legal responsibility for their online actions. Whether those actions are ethical or unethical, it is necessary to learn to communicate ethically and appropriately within a digital society.
Do me a favor, read one more paragraph.
Information posted on the internet never really goes away. A digital footprint is a data record of all individuals' online activities. Even if you delete something you have posted on the internet, it is still stored in your digital footprint. Always think before posting to social media sites or sending an email. What you post online today could risk your future career opportunities.
Go.
Etiquette is the art of using good manners in any situation. Digital etiquette, or netiquette, is etiquette used when communicating electronically and interacting on the internet. It includes accepted social and professional guidelines for internet-based communication. These guidelines apply to email, social media, and other contact with customers and peers via the internet. For example, using all capital letters in a message is not acceptable because it implies the writer is yelling. Proper capitalization, spelling, and grammar should always be used. Cyberbullying is using electronic technology to harass or threaten an individual. It includes using social media, text messages, or emails to harass or scare a person with hurtful words or pictures. The victim of cyberbullying is often not physically seen or touched by a bully. However, this does not mean the person cannot be harmed by the bully's actions. Cyberbullying is not only unethical, in many cases it can be prosecuted as a criminal act. Flaming and spamming are unethical actions that violate etiquette and, depending on the severity, can be considered cyberbullying. Flaming is purposefully insulting someone and inciting an argument on social media. Spamming is sending unwanted mass emails or intentionally flooding an individual's social media site or email inbox with unwanted messages. An important aspect of digital citizenship is respecting an employer's property and time. Internet access provided by the company should be used only for business purposes. For example, checking a personal email or playing a game online is not acceptable. Most companies have an established acceptable use policy. An acceptable use policy is a set of rules that explains what is and is not acceptable use of a company-owned and company-operated equipment. and networks. Employees are typically made aware of acceptable policies during training before they are allowed access to the company's computers and network.
Thank you. Very good. You're a really good reader. You could have done this whole thing, couldn't you? Go.
The internet provides countless sources for obtaining text, images, video, audio, and software. Even though this material is easily obtainable, it may not be valuable for you to use in any way you choose. Laws exist to govern the use of media and creative works. The creators or owners of material posted on the internet have certain legal rights. Intellectual property is something that comes from a person's mind, such as an idea, invention, or process. Intellectual property laws protect a person's or company's inventions, artistic works, and other intellectual property. Plagiarism is claiming another person's material as one's own, which is both unethical and illegal. If you must refer to someone else's work, follow intellectual property laws to acquire the information ethically. Use standard methods of citing sources, citation guidelines, and reference such as the Chicago Manual of Style and the Modern Language Association's MLA Handbook can be helpful. Piracy is the unethical and illegal copying or downloading of software, files, and other protected material. Examples of protected material include images, movies, and music. Piracy carries a heavy penalty, including fines and incarceration.
Jail. Excellent. You read very well. Very good. You guys should be clapping. Go. All right.
A copyright acknowledges ownership of a work and specifies that only the owner has the right to sell the work, use it, or give permission for someone else to sell it or use it. Any use of copyrighted material without permission is called infringement. Infringement. Copyright laws cover all original work, whether it is in print, on the internet, or in any other media format. Scanning a document does not make the content yours. Copyrighted material is indicated by the C symbol or the statement copyright by. Material that does not include the symbol or statement may still be copyrighted. All original material is automatically copyrighted as soon as it is in a tangible form. Intangible form. An idea cannot be copyrighted. A copyright can be registered with the U.S. Copyright Office, which is part of the Library of Congress. However, original material is still legally protected whether or not the copyright is registered. Most information on the internet is copyrighted whether it is text, graphics, illustrations, or digital media. This means it cannot be reused without obtaining permission from the owner. Sometimes the owner of the material places it on the internet specifically for others to reuse. However, if this is not stated, assume the material is copyrighted and cannot be freely used. Many websites list rules for use of content called the terms of use, which must be followed for downloaded files. The terms of use agreement may come up automatically. For example, if you are downloading a file or software application. If, however, you are copying an image or a portion of the text from a website, you will need to look for the terms of use information. Unless the terms of use specifically state that you are free to copy and use the material provided on a website, assume the material is copyrighted. You cannot reuse the material without permission.
Very good.
So you have to put like a link to there. You have to give them credit. Right?
Yeah.
That's what
Fair use doctrine allows individuals to use copyrighted works without permissions in limited situations under very strict guidelines. Fair use doctrine allows copyrighted material to be used for the purpose of describing or reviewing the work. For example, a student writing about copyrighted material in an original report is an example of fair use. Another example is a product review website that provides editorial comment. Fair use doctrine does not change the copyright or ownership of the material used under the doctrine. In some cases, individuals or organizations may wish to allow others to use their intellectual property without requiring permission. This type of use assignment may be called copyleft, which is a play on the word copyright. One popular method allowing use of intellectual property is a Creative Commons license. A Creative Commons license is specialized copyright license that allows free distribution of copyrighted work. If the creator of the work wants to give the public the ability to use, share, or advance his or her original work, a Creative Commons license provides that flexibility. The creator maintains the copyright and can specify how copyrighted work can be used.
Great job. All right.
Public domain refers to material that is not owned by anybody and can be used without permission. Material can enter the public domain when the copyright expires and is not renewed. Much of the material created by federal, state, and local governments is often in the public domain. This is because taxpayer money was used to create it. Additionally, the owner of the material may choose to give up ownership and place the material in the public domain.
A licensing arrangement is a contract that gives one party permission to market, produce, or use the goods or service owned by another party.
Alternative usage rights for software programs are typically covered by the GNU General Public License. The GNU GPL guarantees all users the freedom to use, study, share, and modify the software. The term open source applies to software that has had its source code made available to the public at no charge. Open source software can be downloaded and used for free and can be modified and distributed to anyone. However, part or all the code of open source software may be owned by an individual or organization.
Very good. All right, you guys made it.